Hello, my name is Lauren and I'm the Community Curator for Social History at Hull Museums. Here at Hull Museums, we're keen to represent our local communities honestly, and for us this means making sure that we include narratives that include lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans and queer identities. So narratives that have historically been ignored or erased and just not included in our museums. So stories such as how the Wilson shipping line was able to fund the queer arts. The Wilson shipping line was founded in Hull by Thomas Wilson. By the early 20th century, it had become the largest privately owned shipping company in the world, with over 100 ships sailing to destinations around the world. The company was to suffer during the First World War, however, and was sold in 1916 to Sir John Reeves Ellerman, and at the time it's thought he was the richest man in Britain. He lived a relatively ordinary life, however, with his wife Hannah, and they had two children, Annie Winifred and John II, and it's Annie that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about now. She was a writer and a poet who used the pen name Bryher, a name that she acquired from her favourite island in the Isles of Sicily, so just off the coast of Cornwall. From an early age, Bryher had envied her brother and said that she'd always wanted to be a boy and dreamed of following in her father's footsteps and running the shipping company. She wrote about her want for masculinity years later via a series of historical novels, and they starred young male protagonists, and these novels also supported same-sex relationships over heterosexual ones. In 1921, Bryher married the American author Robert McAlmon, despite having met and started a relationship in 1918 with the poet Hilda Doolittle, also known as H.D. Their relationship was an open one, and when Bryher divorced Robert in 1927, she quickly married Kenneth Macpherson, a writer who shared her interest in film and who was also H.D.'s lover. Bryher divorced Kenneth in 1947, but continued her relationship with H.D. until Doolittle's death in 1961. This meant that their relationship had lasted for over 40 years. The Ellerman's Wilson line, so the Wilson shipping line after it was purchased by John Ellerman, was a fundamental part of Hull's commercial growth and left an imprint on the city that still exists today. But not only that, thanks to Bryher, the monetary legacy also left its mark. When her father died, Bryher received an inheritance, and she was able to use this money to support many young writers, photographers and artists, especially keen to help women and those with very little money. She was also able to publish works by notable poets such as H.D. and Edith Sitwell and fund projects for all three of her partners, H.D., Kenneth and Robert. The queer art and literature of the time was certainly better off thanks to Bryher and the lasting legacy of the Ellerman Wilson shipping line.